So we're 2 years out from the next presidential election, yet Democrat Hillary Clinton remains a divisive icon. I was reminded of this week when I saw the firestorm of reaction to this Wall Street Journal op-ed speculating Hillary will run again. Reinventing herself as a liberal firebrand, Mrs. Clinton will easily capture the 2020 nomination. As you can imagine, there was passionate reaction to this theory. The piece was co-written by Mark Penn. He served as a pollster and advisor to Bill and Hillary Clinton. And my next guest, Andrew Stein, former Democratic Manhattan Borough President and President of the New York City Council, now, however, chair of Democrats for Trump. Andrew, what was your motivation in writing this?
Well, Mark Penn and I were having lunch, Michael, and we were just shooting the breeze, and I think he's extremely smart. And we decided, Hillary can get this nomination. If you have 12, 14 people in there, she's got a 75% positive approval with Democrats. She knows what she's doing. Most of the field really stumbled terribly in the Kavanaugh hearings and showed that they're sort of amateurs. And I think she has an excellent shot of being the Democratic candidate. Michael, if you look at Nixon not only lost to JFK in 1960, but he lost the governorship of California in 1964, and everyone said that was it. He was finished. I think Hillary has that same determination to be president, and she has the base in the party.
So when I read the piece, here was my gut reaction. When I got to the byline, I said, okay, so Penn wants to take another shot, and Andrew Stein, he wants Hillary to take another shot because now he's tied up with Trump, and he figures this is the 1D that Trump can beat.
Well, that is certainly been speculated about. I am for Donald Trump. I was head of Democrats for Trump during the last campaign, and I think he's got a terrific record. I mean, look at the economy, the black unemployment, Hispanic unemployment, canceling the Iraq treaty, the Iran treaty, which I thought was a real serious problem. You don't hear about the caliphate like you did when Obama was there.
I know, but respectfully to my question, and do you think she's the one he's best equipped to defeat? Acknowledge it.
I think that he'll defeat any Democrat that runs. I think that that's not true what you say, because I think Hillary is tough. She's learned a lot from her defeat. And I don't think she'd be the easiest candidate. I think people like Kamala Harris and others are basically neophytes. If you haven't ran nationally, it's like nothing that you could do. I mean, the pressure is unbelievable. I don't think a lot of these Democrats would be able to stand up to the president and stand up to the media glare. Hillary is used to it.
Here's what you wrote. You say this version will be, quote, strong, partisan, left-leaning, and all Democrat, the one with guts, experience, and steely-eyed determination to defeat Mr. Trump. By the way, Andrew Stein, a buddy of mine reminds me, nothing precludes you and Penn from going over to the UK and wagering a little money on this if this is what you really think, that she's going to capture that nomination.
Well, thanks for the tip, Michael. Maybe we will.
You also wrote this, Joe Biden will never be able to take her on. Why do you say that?
I like Joe Biden, and he has a lot of nice qualities as a person, and he's got that working class background. But I don't think he's never been able to run well in the Democratic primaries when he was by himself. He tried many, many times and lost. I think Hillary's a much more formidable candidate with her experience.
Do you think that she was pleased or displeased to see what you published in the Journal? I'm taking for granted that you didn't get her approval in advance. If I'm wrong, tell me so. But what do you think her reaction was in seeing what you'd authored?
Well, Penn and I have talked about that. I think she's got to be happy with it. You know, I know Hillary for a long time. She was at my son's bar mitzvah. And, you know, I think she's probably happy because it got so much circulation, and she's back in the ball game and back in the run and being speculated on as the Democratic candidate. So I think she's happy with the piece.
Andrew, thanks for being here. We're about to find out what this audience thinks in terms of whether you're on the right track, but I appreciate your being here.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, gang, it's your last chance to cast a ballot on this issue. When we come back, I'm going to give you the result of the survey question. Go crash my website. Do you agree with this week's Wall Street Journal op-ed that Hillary will run? Remember, by the way, I'm not asking you, do you want her to run? Do you agree with Mr. Penn and Stein that she's going to get into this thing? Go cast a ballot, and we'll get your best and worst tweets and Facebook comments as well, like this one. Smerconish, not only should HRC run, she has a really good chance. Tell me a candidate in the field right now who can galvanize half of what she received in the general election. She's always been a polarizing figure, but her base is always there. Ariel, you might be right. You know, you can't beat someone with no one. So I guess the answer to say, well, that's ridiculous what Andrew Stein and Mark Penn wrote is, okay, who's got the better shot than the candidate who won the popular vote in the last go-round? Go vote. This is going to be interesting. How did you respond to the survey question today at Smerconish.com? Do you agree with this week's Wall Street Journal op-ed that Hillary will run in 2020? Survey says 10,964 votes. Whoa, pretty decisive, huh? 72% say she will not. 28% say, you know what? She's getting into this thing. Here's some else of what you thought this week. What do we have in terms of social media reaction? Smerconish, why couldn't I vote twice on your Hillary poll if you could just vote twice in the election? No, John. No, John. You're misunderstanding. My violation of Pennsylvania law is that I didn't vote twice. Think about the stupidity of that. If I'm in trouble with the law, it's because I should have voted twice. Me, a guy who takes the franchise so seriously that I've never missed an election since I turned 18. But I've run afoul of the law because you should have voted 2 times. My state doesn't want to increase participation, and a lot of other states are just like it. What's next? Smerconish, lock him. Yeah, okay. Next. There's not much I can say to that.